Dancing Through Demons, The Price of Loving Her Whole. Point 1. The Black American Perspective, Understanding the Divide. The division between Black men and Black women today didn't emerge in isolation. It was forged through systematic interference, psychological warfare, and generational fractures. From the destruction of family structures during enslavement to the calculated efforts to erode trust, we see a pattern of intentional disruption. The reason why I decided to do this today is to provoke thought, but also help you to understand that there's so much disarray and frustration and anger where people get on a social media platform and they speak from their wounds. And when we learn from people who are wounded without healing, we wound other people too. And there's a responsibility of teaching people from your pain. It's irresponsible. And it's detrimental to a community of people. So I plead with you today as you listen to this dialogue. I'm going to continue. There are 3 points to this first thought: media narratives, economic and social strains, mistrust and miscommunication. The media narratives, the portrayal of Black love as dysfunctional or impossible, create internalized wounds. And they do. There's not enough shows or movies that show Black love in its functional form. This is one of the reasons why I love the Cosby Show, because it showed the example of a functional Black couple. And it taught me so much growing up as a child who did not see that type of functional relationship in my own family structure. Economic and social strains. The shift away from communal support systems forced survival over connection. And that's true. When I was growing up, right? Thank you for seeing me. I seen us help each other. I could go borrow different things from different neighbors. None of them ever said, "Oh my God, here she come again. She need a cup of sugar again. You need a pack of chicken again." Here, oh my God, she always asking. There was no one that ever said that. Not only that, my mom used to leave me with one of my elder neighbors and she took care of me. She didn't charge her either. We've even forgot about our elderly. I seen that the other day. A woman was saying how she saw an elderly woman walking with her cane and nobody even was there to help her. We forgot about our elderly. We've done a lot of things in our community that we no longer do anymore. And it's an unfortunate thing because it's deteriorating our communities. This is one of the reasons why I started working back in the community again. Because I wanted to teach the younger generation about what I learned growing up in my community with that support with the elders in my community, that we all knew them. I remember growing up, I never even went back home to eat because people were always feeding you everywhere. But you don't see that anymore. Even when my kids were growing up, when I invited children to come to things that we were doing at the house, nobody needed to bring money. I took care of those children when we went on, trips and things like that. I didn't want their parents to have to give me any money because it wasn't fair, because I asked for them to come. We don't do these things anymore. We're selfish. Moving on. Mistrust and miscommunication. Without deep restoration, wounds create cycles where pain masquerades as protection. And that's true, right? People are armored, speaking harsh truths, wounding everywhere they go because they were wounded. Irresponsibly, we teach from our pain because now everybody has something to say. And then the willing ignorant to listen to what they have to say only speaks volumes to their own pain, magnifying their egos and thinking that what they're saying is correct. But truthfully, they're even more destructive than the person that hurt the person who was listening to the person who was hurt. Responsibility in teaching is what we need to know. Moving on. Yet within this fracture, love has always resisted. Through music, poetry, and unspoken understanding, the Black man and woman continue to seek their rhythm, though often stumbling through unhealed generational pain. The Hebrew understanding of love and covenant restoration. In a Hebrew context, love is not just feeling, it is a covenant. It's about accountability and divine order. The fracture we see today is not natural. They are distortions of the original design. And it is true. The concept of ahava, which means love, not really love itself, because there's no word in Hebrew that is love, but it's the closest thing to it. And in Hebrew, ahava, love is rooted in action, giving, aligning, restoring. The prince who loves her whole does not just feel affection, he actively upholds her wholeness. What does that mean? That means he understands the movements that he has as that head in that space is not about ruling as a tyrant, but in wisdom and understanding. And that requires a level of understanding and wisdom that some people don't navigate in very well. One who has or knows how to emotionally regulate themselves. Moving on. The healing dance. Just as David danced before Yahweh in full abandonment, love requires movement beyond fear, beyond systems, and beyond ego. Breaking cycles, not repeating them. The war against Black love is designed to keep relationships fragmented and people feeding into that same cycle still today. In their pain, they teach. When love is restored in truth, it cannot be manipulated by external forces. No one will be able to get in between the two, because you don't have two people who are in a relationship. You have two people who are one, mind, body, and spirit in their relationship. And that ain't really common in the Black family, is it? No, it's not. We wouldn't even know it if it presented itself to us, because we often never see it. Bringing it home, the lesson of wholeness, to love wholly, is to move past division, not ignoring wounds, but confronting them. This requires intentional healing, both individual and collective, reclaiming trust, removing the fear of vulnerability, and stepping into covenant, unclogging psychological warfare, recognizing that systems seek to fragment and actively resisting. Returning to divine rhythm, love has never meant to be chaotic. It was designed to be in harmony with purpose. Much love and